Testing your speakers a little. Streaming, baby. Hey, morning. Accidentally 12:23 p.m. Sunday. It is football Sunday, isn't it? You know what I noticed was kind of weird? The friggin' World Series, the baseball World Series, isn't until November. Seems to me I recall the World Series being in early October not that long ago. The hell, they just trying to have a continuous sports season for the whole year. Baseball, then the football, World Series, hockey, and then back to baseball, and then with the, who knows, football, the other football. So, you might ask yourself, Hamster, where do you come up with this shit? Where do you find the dregs, the wretched refuse of the internet? Well, today, we found it over on RebelHQ. Let's talk about those loser red pill dudes.
Bro, modern day feminism is like so toxic. It's all double standards. Like if a woman were to come out and say a hypothetical statement that no one ever says, it's
something like kill all men. Oh, wait a minute. No. That's a joke. That's a joke. Come on. All men are grapefruit artists. We're just, it's hyperbole to make a point. Really? Okay.
It's perfectly acceptable. But if a man comes out and says a hypothetical statement that literally zero people say, then all hell breaks loose.
You mean something like, I believe that men and women shouldn't be out banging so much. Maybe a high body count isn't a good thing. Oh, toxic, right? See? Evil terrorist. A red pill loser. Oh, my God. You got me. You got me, dude. You got me, dude, bro.
Shut up.
Shut up. Just shut up. Oh, hello, Jim Rat. Jim Rat. How you doing? Appropriating hairstyles from places you don't come from. I think that's a problem. Don't you?
His criticisms of the red pill community always has and continues to be that, it's not like these guys are just, cracking regular jokes about the dating market, which
really? Is that right? It's not regular jokes. They're cracking evil man-spreading, splaining jokies that should be banned from every platform possible in the universe.
Is perfectly acceptable for anybody to do.
Is it? Is it really, Jim Bro? Really? We can just go and tell jokes about, I don't know, women and their, who knows? That's fine. You won't get a nasty gram from Susan at YouTube. Nothing like that. You won't get, yeeted from Twitter or TikTok. And then it's perfectly fine. I approve. I approve because I'm a Jim Rat, I guess.
Because, if you have any experience with dating, there's a lot of ups and downs to it. And
yeah. Except it's perfectly okay to joke if you're the female about men's dick sizes and various other things, and he's too short, he's a loser, he's an incel, he's a terrorist. That's fine. Say one thing about having a preference for a moderately thin, in shape, fit woman. Watch what happens. Oh, wait, no double standards. Not at all. What's the matter with you people? You see, that's why you're evil. You're red pill. You're an incel loser.
And, sharing your war stories can be pretty funny.
Yeah. What do you think a lot of men talk about? Wait a minute. No. Red pill and men doing what they want with their own lives and stuff. They're all freaking terrorists. I keep forgetting. Getting together and talking men's shit out amongst men is obviously a white supreme pizza movement. Even if there's many, many black dudes, doesn't matter. Supremacist movement, you know it.
But that's not what these guys do.
Oh, God, tell us what we do, Jim Bro. Tell us exactly what we do.
Where were you for the past human history?
Well, I didn't get here until about 58 years ago, so I wasn't here for that. But go ahead. Try to act like you were. Try to tell us you know everything about everything that ever happened and the context and the reasoning behind everything that ever happened. Because we would like to hear that, sir.
When men have had the floor, have had the stage, have had the power, do you not know about colonization?
You know which men have always had the floor and the power? It ain't us, Joker. It's the elites, you stupid fuck. Oh, men, they're just all power. Really? Very tiny slice of men have always kind of had this sort of power, kind of running the world kind of thing. Not average Joe, you stupid asshole. What's the matter with you?
Like, pick up a history book that was built on the backs of
And you know who else had power at the same time when these evil elite men were at the top? The elite women.
oppressing women and other groups. 50 years ago, women couldn't have credit cards in this country.
So is there any particular reason why you think 50 years ago women couldn't just go get a credit card? Can anyone postulate? Is there a hypothesis available? Anyone? Well, maybe it was because women weren't fully involved in the workplace as of yet, 5 years after the sexual revolution and the freedom of women and all that shit. You know, things take time. Now, I know everybody wants, well, we had this revolution instant. Doesn't work that way. It takes a while to get into the system. Do you understand? So, since most women weren't working full time, they didn't have a job record. They didn't have a credit history. There's still a lot of women who were housewives or whatever, didn't work, stayed at home. Thus, if you're a credit card company, you're not very willing to give credit cards to people who you do not know are going to pay you back. And besides, it wasn't that long. If you want to go back in history, about 100 years, a man was legally responsible for all his wife's debts and bills she accumulated. All that kind of shit. So you see, these things take a little while to get sorted out, but it wasn't done immediately. We've got a problem, the patriarchy. So could it be that maybe women weren't in the workforce en masse 50 years ago? You think maybe that had something to do with it? Maybe for hundreds of years, whatever, all this oppression of women, it takes a while to sort it out. No, of course not. Of course not.
To this day, 80% of politicians are men.
Well, and more women should run. See, more and more women are running. You know, the problem is a lot of those women are not crazy leftists, and thus they do not count as women. You see, men who manually transmission themselves into believing they're women are more female than real, actual, God-honest women born with a vagina, if those women happen to be conservative. You get my drift, Ola. See, more and more women aren't running because the women that do run on the left side, they're fucking insane with their bullshit, and they rarely get elected, except in extremely deep blue places like New York, Los Angeles, etc., and St. Louis.
We are the power structure. When women joke about men, they're punching up at the power structure. That's the difference.
So if I start joking about Asian people because they're above white people, is that going to be okay, or is that going to be considered racist? I'm punching up, am I not? So is it sexist for women to punch up to men? Is it sexist for men to punch down at women or up in college, where women have the 60 to 40% majority? Is it okay then, since women are now the majority in college and various other places? Is it okay for male nurses to say bad things about female nurses because he'd be punching up? No. Wait a minute. You mean it only goes one way? But we're not talking about double standards or nothing. No, they're a bunch of red pill losers.
When you look at the content that they post, like every single video is modern.
Every single video.
Modern woman gets humbled. Modern woman this.
Now, let's be fair. I've seen a lot of those videos too. I've also seen a lot of videos where modern man gets humbled. So is it somehow a problem pointing out when women are being humbled or whatever and blah, 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 blah? But it's fine. Perfectly fine if men, the same exact thing. It's fine if men have that done to them. Not women, though. Oh, my God. The poor, precious little snow. You're evil. You toxic. Oh, my God.
Modern woman that. And let's say, for instance, that we didn't live in a society to where women, you know, up until relatively recently.
Define relatively recently. What would you think relatively recently would be? 50 years, 30 years, 40 years. Let's hear what he has to say next. Remember, he said relatively recently. Well, on a geologic evolutionary timescale, you're correct. But again, why do we always have to go back to history? What's wrong with talking about today? I'll tell you what's wrong with talking about today. Women have it pretty fucking good, and there are barely any things to complain about. And when they do find something to complain about, it's made up bullshit. That's why the fight's been won, bro. Dude, rat, Jim, bro. That's the problem people have with the fembots these days. It's not about equal rights, not about equality. It's not about it's unfended. They want special goodies just for women. And that's not equality. Remember, equality, everybody gets the same this, that. That's not special things for one particular gender or sex. Now that's what we're talking about. You wonder why there's a pushback. Don't you, Jim, bro?
Weren't basically property.
Yeah, just until very recently. And like I said, if you're talking about millions and millions of years of the development of the planet Earth, yes, it was relatively recently.
You know what I'm saying? Weren't basically just handed off as wives or, weren't allowed to have credit cards and,
This is the depth of the brainwashing. Did these things happen? Yes. When did these things happen? 1800s. What has happened in the intervening 150 some years? Anything? Has society changed? Have the laws been changed to better accommodate women? Yes. So why don't we talk about that? No. Why is that? Because there's money to be made in these mass movements, and they're not mass, but you know what I mean. Feminism, BLM, alphabet mafia people running around saying the T's deserve equal rights. What fucking rights don't they have? I'm curious if somebody could point it out to me. Which rights are you fighting for, LGBT people? Which ones? I'd like to know.
Stuff like that. Let's say we didn't live in a society like that.
We don't. We don't.
Even still, these guys aren't really talking about anything. Because when you really boil it down, these guys typically are really young, maybe early to mid-teens.
Like incel grandfathers, like Hammerhand, right?
Maybe a little older than that, and really trying to figure out how to get about dating, and then they get sucked into these echo chambers. Or they're
sucked into these echo chambers. Well, define an echo chamber, sir. How would you define that? Would RebelHQ be considered an echo chamber? No, that's different. We got to teach you heathen conservatives what's really the what here, man. And you got to. Guess it depends what you consider an echo chamber or not, eh? Depends, don't it?
They're like older guys who got sucked into the divorce courts.
Yeah, like 40 years ago. I think I'm over that by now. But so it's evil for me to explain the experience that I had and maybe throw out a warning flag to guys, hey, this stuff could happen, et cetera. And so that's a problem. We should just not listen to anyone's experience. What about the women? What about the fembots who have all their experiences and their blah, 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 blah. No, that's different. Different, is it? We should be listening to those women because they have wisdom and they have experience to share with the younger women. But for men, no, you should just shut the fuck up. Now, I wonder if there's more to it than that, Jim Bro. I wonder if men spreading this message is somehow causing some concern among certain movements. Maybe, I don't know, just a swag. Maybe we're pulling the wool off of some people's eyes. Say, wait a minute, you've heard all this stuff, right? Yeah, women are oppressed. Really? Well, let me show you what's going on. Really? I didn't know that. Exactly, you didn't know that because nobody's going to tell you. Feminist movement is a massive grift. You guys know that. I don't have to beat this dead horse. Go on, Jim Bro.
Which, there's legitimate issues there.
Really? Are there any legitimate issues that we can talk about without you objecting? What would those be? Would you like to give us a list that's approved by you, Jim Rat? Or approved by the feminists? Is there anything they could put a list together? You can talk about these things, you evil man, but no more. Why don't you just fuck right off? There are legitimate issues. Who the fuck are you to say? Honestly, who the fuck are you to say?
But again, it's not like they're really trying to solve the issues. It's just a big hugging circle for men to support one another.
Mm-hmm. I thought you and your feminist friends wanted men to be more emotionally in touch with themselves and show their feelings. Well, isn't that what a hugging session does? No, not for men. They're a bunch of goddamn pussies. Suck it up and be stoic, you evil men. Take your L's and shut the fuck up and don't talk about it. So which message are we to listen to, Mr. Rat? Just curious, which one?
For how women really don't like them very much.
How many times, men, when you go outside and you're going on a walk at night, are you afraid that you got to look out, you got to be environmentally aware that you don't get taken?
Every fucking time I go out and walk at night in a shitty part of town. What's your fucking point? That's what a normal human being does. You look around, assess the situation. If it looks dangerous, you don't go there. Everyone should do that. But women should be able to go anywhere they want. I totally agree, but that ain't the way the fucking world works. It ain't the way it works. And men are far more likely to be assaulted in every other way except the one you're talking about anywhere in the world. But men don't have to worry about that, right?
You don't.
Yes, I do.
That's the difference.
Okay. You know what he's talking about. Grapefruit. Yes, more women are going to be grapefruited out in public. But even then, the actual times where you got the stereotypical dude jumps out of the bushes or the alley and attacks a woman is very, very, very rare. You would think the fembots would be happy about that. Oh, no. You got to have your neck on a swivel every minute, girls. You're walking down the street. Somebody's going to grab you and drag you in the bushes. It's bullshit. It's not reality. But then again, we don't expect leftists to deal with reality.
Take, for instance, all these, red pill machismo guys when they're on these.
You're talking pickup artists. Yes. Different fucking category of people. But go ahead and continue to lump them in with other guys who just wanted to talk about women's and issues and stuff like that, relationships. Go ahead.
Podcasts, and they say, I don't really care that much about a woman's orgasm. It doesn't really matter, because I'm so much of a man. You have to show her that you're stoic and you're.
Andrew Tate, why don't you go talk to him? Go talk to him. You're taking one teeny tiny subset of high flyers who claim red pill. Guy's a pickup artist. We all know that. I'm not saying all his advice is bad. He says a lot of things to get attention, such as what you just said. Because that's his brand. That's how he makes his living. You donut brain.
I'm not
Double donut brain.
concerned about her whatsoever. Like, okay, well, that's probably why most of the women that you date go and often bang other guys, which is what you typically talk about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's not the only problem here, because you got to know how to please a woman in the bedroom. That's not the only issue, but you have to actually just like women in general.
In order to please a woman in the bedroom, Jim Bro, one has to actually be in a bedroom with a woman. who consensually agrees to have some activity. Do you understand? Do you? Most women are going for men in the top 10% of men in the world, in the country. Top 10%. 1 out of 10 guys is the ones they want to bang. Most of the rest of the guys don't get the opportunity to please or not please a female. Are you with me? Are you?
Which these guys don't. Because again, like, they're not talking about anything. What slights have really been done to you by women? She didn't want to go on a date with you. She wouldn't sleep with you. Maybe she cheated on you. You know.
Oh, as if it's a casual thing. Yeah, she just cheated on you. So what? What about divorce court and the children? What about that? Can we talk about the real issues here instead of some bullshit? Oh, she didn't say yes when you asked her out. Oh, wham. She cheated on you, whole different ball game. Tell me about the divorce laws. Why don't we talk about that? Why don't they talk about that, you might ask? The gym rat doesn't talk about that because he knows that is a real fucking issue. That is a real issue affecting men every day in this country and around the world. He doesn't want to address that. I wonder why.
You know, I've been cheated on before. I've been rejected. But you know, I also reject other women.
Again, what can I tell you? I guess good for you.
Which is what these guys seem to forget. And a lot of people seem to forget. You also reject people.
No. You're assuming that every man that's doing whatever he's doing is like you. You're in the top echelon of guys, apparently. You're stacked, you're pretty good looking, whatever, right? You get the opportunity to reject women. Most men do not. Do you understand? You're speaking from a limited experience, your own. Okay? Let's look at the statistics. Let's look at the averages across the population. No? Don't want to do that.
So it's only right that people reject you sometimes. But it's all about you. It's all about the ego, which is the biggest issue with this community.
And that's how I know you don't talk to women. Because if you did, you know, most, if not all of them, live in fear 24/7 because of people like you that could potentially hurt them.
Now, do you know what a phobia is, Mr. Yellow Hat? You know what a phobia is? Well, it's not what you think it is. You see, someone who maybe doesn't go to see the gay guys movie, obviously a xenophobe or a homophobe or whatever. A phobia is an irrational fear of something. Okay? A spider phobia or height phobia, whatever. It's an irrational fear. Now, if you're telling me that women are walking around 24/7, 365, worried that any man on the street is going to attack them in some way, that, sir, is a phobia. That's not reality. It's not anywhere in this universe, except maybe in places where it's war-torn, the Congo when they were having problems, etc. Not in the United States, not in the Western world. That is an irrational fear. It's been inculcated and brainwashed into women that they must fear men at all times because all men are rapists. That would be called a phobia. That'd be the proper use of it. But go on and tell us, because we're all evil men, right?
Oh, but if a man said, Doc, just tell us you get zero play. Just tell us you don't know what the touch of a woman feels like.
How do you, excuse me, how do you go from saying women are phobic about men trying to attack them 24/7, 365, and you go, just tell us you've never touched a woman? What the fuck is this?
It's not that hard.
Did I tell you I find these gems, guys? I don't know where they come from. Oh my God.
You know that these guys really just don't have good relationships with women or.
No shit. That's why men get together and talk about these topics, you stupid fuck. That's the point. Men sharing experiences, maybe giving tips, maybe looking at pickup. Because they're not good with women, you stupid asshole. Oh my God. Captain fucking Obvious to the rescue.
Or ongoing relationships with women at all is because they act like women are out to get you. And it's like, probably not, man. You know,
Again, not all women will, but all women can. Got it?
women are probably more, especially if you're just meeting them, they're probably more concerned about the things going on in their own lives, just like you are, just like
They're worried about you raping them. That's what, not you, sir. You men. Any man they meet is going to jump on them and rape them. I mean, come on. Something like that's perfectly fine to say, though, if you're a female on TikTok or Twitter. But if a man says all women, and they don't, but say all women want to divorce rape you, well, you're about to be canceled, sir. No double standards here. No.
like everybody else is, because women work, women have families, women have pets, women have kids, women have lives outside of you, which is what a lot of these guys really seem to have a problem with because,
see, there's no problem with having a life outside of me or their boyfriend or whatever. But it seems to me that many women on TikTok, when they refer to having a life, it means they're out screwing people. There seems to be this monomaniacal concentration. Life means having carousel fun. I have a life. I need to find myself carousel fun. Why is that? You think it'd be a problem? Hey, honey, hamster, I can't go out Friday. My family's coming over. Hey, cool, man. Well, maybe next week. Yeah, sure, great. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. Woman comes up to you and says, hey, I'm going on a girls' trip to Las Vegas. Problem. Flash, flash, flash. Red flag. Do you see any difference between the two? No?
For instance, like when shows like She-Hulk or The Woman King or something, right?
The last thing I care about, the last thing I worry about is what garbage, what sewage is being forced down our throats, or they try to force it down our throats by Hollywood. I could fucking care less. I should say, I couldn't care less. I don't give a shit about She-Hulk or whatever the fuck Hulk. I don't care. Doesn't concern me at all. Now, I know there are some people who are into comic books and the lore and whatever, the movies. I understand. I get it. For me personally, I don't give a shit. You can make Star Wars a bunch of gay dudes. I don't care. But that's me.
It's like they'll go on and on and on about that, about how society's trying to crumble the image of men. But it's like,
well, is there even a little bit of truth? Is society trying to emasculate men at all? Is there anything in there, a nugget, a kernel of reality? No, not in your mind. Okay.
Are they really? And are you just complaining that you fall into that category of losers that you're talking about? Because
right.
I don't feel your pain, my brother. Anytime I fallen short of anything, I do the work, I take the time, I deal with the pain, and I grow from it. But that's not what these guys want to do. And
really, we don't want to share our pain with other guys so they can maybe avoid those same pitfalls. We've grown from it. We want to share that experience. No. You're just a bunch of goddamn whiners and losers. Am I on the right track?
So, ironically or unironically, they just joined the All Boys We Hate Women Club.
Bro, modern day feminism is like so toxic. It's all double.
Oh, wasn't that fun? Scythy is here. Hello. Wicked's Bane is in the building. Ojit, 1917. Hello. Riggs Jr. is also here. Iridium Kush. Yeah, I hear you, man. I understand completely. I get it. I do. I just don't know where I come up with the stuff. Tobias is here as well. All right. Easter Sunday is back. Who 346? Hello. Kush, are you going to blaze up? Or Scotty's side is here. I saw you, Scotty. What's going on, man? All right. Let's see. Now, I was going to do another Courtney Ryan because she did a video on body count, but it goes on too long, and it basically says the same damn thing. Women, doesn't matter what their body count is. Men, generally, they want more because they have more experience in the bedroom. Are you surprised? Are you? All right, let's see. What else do we have? Got any more other bullshit here? Republicans struggling to understand metaphors is hysterical. Okay, let's do that one. Salty caramel apple martini. Okay. Whoa. Measure carefully. There you go. Okay. Great.
I try to tell audiences that may not understand the process.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. In case you guys don't know, this guy's running for Senate in Pennsylvania.
Or may not, I say, if you've seen the Shawshank Redemption, and most of us have, I say, if you think Morgan Freeman should have died in prison without a second chance, then vote for the other guy. If you think people like him, because that's the face of our lifers in Pennsylvania, and I suspect all across the country.
Now, that video was from last year when John Fetterman was talking about his approach that he would have when it comes to probation and letting folks off after even serious crimes. And he brought up the Shawshank Redemption. And Morgan Freeman's character, who was Red, who was at near the end, as anyone who has seen it, as anyone who has seen it would know that he was let go after being charged with murder and spending the majority of his life in prison.
Yeah, he served his time. Correct.
For reasons that he was remorseful, that he's a reformed man, that all this stuff is in his past. And
actually, you apparently didn't pay much of attention to the movie because his last parole board hearing, he tried to play the good guy. All the parole hearings. The last one is I just don't give a shit anymore. Basically. So you must have missed that part. Kind of an important part of the movie.
He's a whole different person in a whole different world. Now, I can't really say campaigning on the whole thing of I'm gonna release murderers from prison, especially in this particular climate, the way Republicans are talking, is the best approach. It kind of opens you up to easy attacks. But Kayleigh McEnany, who was formerly Trump's White House press secretary and now on Fox News, had a completely different reason why.
Not a real woman, though, because she's a Republican, right? Are we good?
She's upset about this approach because he did say it again in another interview just recently. That's not why it's making more news. And she's responding to that here.
Now, Fetterman, who presides over the state's pardon board, is coming under fire for his soft on crime policies. When asked about them in a new interview with Semaphore, the Democrat compared giving clemency to someone who has committed a first-degree murder to the movie The Shawshank Redemption. You won't believe this. Listen to what he said. I believe the perfect metaphor is The Shawshank Redemption. That's a touchstone that virtually everybody has seen. Everybody understands. I've asked people, would you want Morgan Freeman to die in prison or not?
Now, The Shawshank Redemption was actually a book from Stephen King that was anti-prison because of a lot of the reasons they showed in there and whatever. So I haven't read the book. I've heard it's interesting, but I mean, we've all seen the movie. Now, if someone wanted Morgan Freeman's character to die in prison, they wouldn't have given him a chance to get parole, now would they? That'd kind of take away from the whole thing, wouldn't it? See, you're obviously he's going toward a racial thing. You're a black dude, you convicted of murder, you're going to die in prison. There's no fucking way you're ever getting out. Isn't that the way they would have portrayed it in the movie? No, they gave him many chances to get parole, didn't they? What's the problem with that?
And I've never met anyone that says, yeah, he should die in prison. I would have voted to have him die in prison. They are deeply remorseful for what they were involved in or what they did directly, and they've done 40 years or more, maybe sometimes more than 50 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. and the character got parole.
Maybe someone should tell John Fetterman Shawshank Redemption is a fiction film. He appears to have forgotten that.
Yeah, it was based on reality, though. It really was. That was Stephen King sort of trying to portray the prison system as corrupt and et cetera and so on. And he's probably not wrong, actually.
Maybe they shouldn't use teleprompters at Fox News or anywhere, honestly, because I bet she could have made that point without reading it. I wonder if they would have felt that way. Like, you can say it more naturally if it's not written right in front of you to say those exact words. It makes people wonder if that's really your point of view or if that's what someone wrote for you to say, because you're reading it. Just saying, you can have this set up. It's a small thing for me. It just doesn't seem very authentic. It doesn't seem like you believe it. And
what do you think people do at news networks? They read shit that people write for them.
Coming with an opinion, I would like to believe that you believe it. Anyway, back to this whole fiction about basing his metaphor that he said he made based off of this movie about his approach. I wonder if Kayleigh McEnany had an issue with these other folks. Talking about fiction in real life, trying to act like it's something that would actually make them a better candidate, maybe even a better official representative of multiple folks. There's one really goofy ad that I'm not sure if she had a problem with. Let's watch this. Remember this?
Yeah, let's look at it.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is your governor speaking. Today's training evolution, dogfighting, taking on the corporate media. The rules of engagement are as follows. Number 1, don't fire unless fired upon. But when they fire, you fire back with overwhelming force. Does it say that in the bill? I'm asking you to tell me what's in the bill. Number 2, never, ever back down from a fight.
If I could complete the question, though.
So you're going to give a speech or ask a question? Number 3, don't accept their narrative. It's wrong. It's a fake narrative. I just disabused you of the narrative, and you don't care about the facts. It's why people don't trust people like you, because you peddle false narratives. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's telephone.
Fiction. It mirrors real life. Is Ron DeSantis jumping in some Top Gun jet and flying around? As long as you elect him. But we keep having these blurred lines between reality and fiction. I don't know why they always do this stuff. Kayleigh, there's another example. But first, Dan, what are your thoughts here?
I'm not surprised by Fox News's very flimsy grasp on the idea of a metaphor. Like, so you see how these things work is you compare it to something often in fiction, something that's maybe a little bit more tangible, so that people can hopefully understand it and get to relate it to real life in a real world situation where they have to make a decision, like a vote or, deciding on someone's freedom and, humanity for the rest of their lives. I think it's really touchy when you're for Fetterman. I'm really happy that, even though they're digging this older clip up from a while ago, and definitely the political environment has toughened up on crime lately, it's a bold thing for Fetterman to have said. And I think that as long as you are on the left and providing a strong message as to why criminal justice reform is important, while also addressing people's concerns about crime and dangers in society, as they'll always have, because unfortunately fears are very easy to stoke in politics. I think as long as you do that, which a lot of people running, a lot of Democrats running kind of cower away from having a strong message on criminal justice reform, then it's fine to bring up. But I think Fetterman here is
criminal justice reform. Okay. Let's talk about that for a minute. Do you believe someone should get a harsh prison sentence for having a marijuana or some kind of allegedly, no victim drug? They do heroin or whatever. Should they get a hard time for that? Probably not. Do you believe a rapist should spend 10, 15, 20 years in jail? Do you? So is this criminal justice reform they're touting, does it have to do with rapists? Curious. Murderers, drug dealers, scumbags. No. We gotta reform. Okay. How are you gonna reform it? Well, someone's accused of rape. We're just gonna let them out with no bail. Is that what's happening in Illinois? Why, yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right, we'll do one more. I don't know if you've seen this one yet, but this one's a doozy. Talk about living in fantasy world. Have you seen this one yet? Come on. Will it go round in circles? Boom, boom. Go ahead. Anytime now. There we go. Is this going to be the whole commercial? I don't know. We'll find out.
3 weeks until the midterm elections, and Bay Area Congressman Eric Swalwell is making headlines for a shocking new digital ad that depicts a dystopian reality if Democrats lose control of the House and the Senate.
This is the dystopian reality if Democrats lose the House and the Senate. Watch.
Mary Anderson,
Yes.
I have a warrant for your arrest.
Arrest for what?
Penal Code 243 violation. Unlawful termination of a pregnancy.
The ad, called Lock Her Up, portrays a woman being arrested in front of her family for having an abortion. When the husband steps in to stop the arrest, police draw their guns on the couple while their children watch in tears.
Why is this happening? Love you. Hey there.
We're just enforcing the law here.
Elections have consequences.
The aim of our ad is,
What is it called? Lock her up. All right, I better go find the whole ad because it's pretty well, let's just say it's just a bit over the
Some
top.
experiences are once in a lifetime. Hit the open road and rediscover the outdoors. Give your family a trip to remember and let us help you get there in an RV from the Haugen RV Group with over
Okay. Let's see. We going to be able to find it? Well, of course not, because that'd be too easy, wouldn't it? That's the one we just saw. No, that'd be too simple. Let's see. We already looked at this one, did we not? Yeah, we don't really want to hear him talk, do we? Lock her up. Come on. I should have had this ready. Sorry. That's the one we just looked at. All right, here we go. This is the full ad here.
You're weird. He is weird.
Those two children there aren't their choices.
So cute. Gross.
Mary Anderson,
Nice sound effect.
Yes.
I have a warrant for your arrest.
Arrest for what?
Penal Code 243 violation. Unlawful termination of a pregnancy.
You gotta be kidding me.
That is my personal business.
That's for the courts to decide, ma'am. Your medical records have been subpoenaed, and Dr. Landry's already in custody.
No, my God, you can't
And
just.
you will have to submit to a physical examination.
What? By who?
No, one's touching me.
Sir,
My wife-
get back.
Whoa!
Ma'am, turn around. Put your hands behind your back. Now.
Why is this happening? Love you. Hey there.
Because mommy was a hoe.
We're just enforcing the law here.
Elections have consequences. Vote Democrat on November 8th. Stop Republicans from criminalizing abortion everywhere. Protect women's rights and freedom. Please don't do this. Please.
Oh, isn't that some fembot's wet dream? Oh my God, look at this. Oh no. Women getting arrested for having abortions. Right. Where's that happening? Well, it's not happening yet, but it's coming. You vote Democrat. Blah. Exactly, Johnny Midnight. Vote for Moloch. That's what you got to do. Remember the Walter Mondale nuclear ad fear campaign? Oh, yeah. So Lyndon Johnson had one too back in the 60s over Goldwater. It was very effective. Lock these murderous women up forever. Come on now. Number one, in my humblest of opinion, the abortion thing has fallen flat. Most people understand, most people agree in this country, there needs to be a limit. Most people don't want to ban it completely. They want some kind of reasonable limit on abortion. And they don't necessarily like it to be used for birth control because you've got women around you and men, but women particularly going, excuse me, I was active in college. I did all kinds of crazy stuff. I was a garden tool. Somehow I managed to never get knocked up. Wonder why that is. Oh, I was using birth control. I know. It's crazy. 2 forms of birth control every time. 2. IUD, pill, condom, whatever, sponge, some other shit. Spray it up in there. Whatever works. A lot of people are looking around and saying, okay, you have all this shit available to you. You have the morning after pill you can buy, $35 or whatever it is. You can probably get it free at Planned Parenthood, some other places for crisis pregnancies. I'm sure you can. So why don't you? See what I'm saying? It's a responsibility thing. It's accountability. That's what the fembots don't want. Women should not have to be held accountable for anything they do in their lives. Look at the last gym rat guy. Well, women are worried 24/7 walking down the bullshit. It's not true. It's not reality. It's not this universe. I'm sorry. It is not true. The facts, the data do not back up their assertions on that or just about anything. Oh, well, you can't, the women's are going to get, as far as I know, this whole abortion ban, 6-week crap, whatever the hell it is, if there's any arresting going on, it's going to be the doctor, not the female. And I'm still not sure I agree with that. I mean, figure out a freaking time limit, whatever the hell it is, 8 weeks, 9 weeks, and call it good and be done with it. Stop this fucking bullshit. This country's been torn apart really for 50 some years over this crap. Just figure out a time, set it to that, and be done with it. That's the way I look at it. And I'm certainly not pro-abortion, but come on already. Just figure out something that makes sense. Make some exceptions for women who are attacked and children who are, incested and all that stuff. Put it in the books. Done. Just stop already. So I don't think the Democrats are going to get a lot of traction here because I think the majority of people, they do agree that abortion should be legal up to a certain term limit. I don't know what it is, 10 weeks or something. Like 75, 80% of the country agrees with that. Okay, well, that's what it'll be. Shut up already. And electing this person is going to do nothing for the Supreme Court said it is not in the purview of the federal government. Of course, he wants you to vote for him because he's going to save the day. He's going to be Captain Save-A-Ho in Washington when they have no authority in Washington anymore to deal with this thing. It's back in the States, 10th Amendment. I think I've said enough on this particular topic. Fast Dak is here. At least I saw his name. Hello, Pliskin. The Snaky is in the building. Aerodynamic. Arvero, Master J. What did you say? You're just such an evil man. All right. Hey, Michelle Guevara is here as well. So, all right. Well, there you go. I'm going to go take a nap. And then do some laundry because I got to fly out and go on travel tomorrow. Ew, I hate it. Guys, have a good day. See you later. Bye.